New video just dropped, and it sheds serious light on what really went down after the latest hit on Caitlin Clark. What it shows, something the WNBA might not want front and center, during a tense showdown between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun. Sophie Cunningham made her stance crystal clear. The moment things got heated, she didn't hesitate. Her instincts kicked in fast, and it was obvious she wasn't just backing a teammate, she was sending a message. Cunningham wasn't just playing basketball, she was standing guard, making it clear that if you come for Clark, you'll have to go through her first.
The greatest thing I saw tonight was Sophie Cunningham. Thank you. Sophie Cunningham was about to give she's about to give her the Stone Cold Stunner, bro. I'm gonna put it right here, bro. She was gripping JC shoulder and straight bumped her. She was straight grabbing her hair and was talking shit while doing it. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you become a teammate. That's a road dog. That's a real teammate, bro. She see what made me mad the play before. Howard, none of them jokers didn't stick up for Caitlin Clark, but that's how you stick up for Caitlin Clark. That's how you fight for your teammates. That's how.
Sophie Cunningham has officially stepped into her role as the Indiana Fever's no-nonsense enforcer. Tuesday night's clash with the Connecticut Sun made that loud and clear. When things flared up between Caitlin Clark and longtime agitator JC Sheldon, whose rivalry with Clark dates back to their college days, Cunningham didn't just speak up, she nearly charged in. Coaches had to physically hold her back as she tried to defend the WNBA's biggest star, proving once again Cunningham isn't just a teammate, she's Clark's frontline protector.
So it's really people out here defending Marina Mabrey for Madden hit sticking Caitlin Clark to the floor, saying that she's just protecting her teammate. For one, it involved Caitlin Clark and JC Sheldon. They had their little spiel before that, and then JC Sheldon scratches Clark in the face, then invades her space after that. Clark pushes her away because of that, and then Marina Mabrey comes get involved and Madden hit sticks her to the floor, man, and y'all just like she was protecting her teammate. But then Sophie Cunningham is getting called vile and disgusting for dropping JC Sheldon to the floor and dragging her by the hair. So Sophie Cunningham can't stick up for her teammate, or else it's vile and disgusting. But Marina Mabrey could get involved in something that didn't involve her, and it's just she was protecting her teammate. The Caitlin Clark hate is so.
Here's what no one at league headquarters wants to admit: Caitlin Clark wasn't just fouled during Tuesday's game. She was clearly targeted. She took an elbow to the eye, got shoved to the floor, and was repeatedly hit by opponents who looked more ready for a wrestling ring than a basketball court. And the refs, they stood there like spectators, letting it all slide. But this time, something changed. Sophie Cunningham wasn't having it. She stepped in and made it clear, if the league won't protect Clark, she will.
Sophie Cunningham did exactly what the fuck needed to be done last night. And I love that for her. Because what y'all not gonna do, for one, Connecticut had no chance of winning that game, but what y'all not gonna do is decide to play dirty, to play violent, because y'all getting smacked by the Indiana Fever. Y'all had no chance they had no chance of winning that game anyway. So all they resorted to was just playing fucking dirty. And shit, Sophie Cunningham said, well, shit, that's why they brought me over here. So I'm about to do what they brought me over.
Game changing. Footage tells the whole story. IT captures the exact moment Connecticut Sun guard JC Sheldon, Clark's longtime college rival, deliberately poked her in the eye during the third quarter. As Clark staggered back and tried to create space, Marina Mabrey came flying in, shoving Clark to the floor in a move that looked anything but accidental. The crowd inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse erupted in boos, stunned by what they were seeing. And then Sophie Cunningham exploded off the bench. Her expression said it all. She was ready to throw down. But before she could act, Fever assistant coaches rushed in, physically holding her back from escalating the chaos.
When that play actually took place, Sophie Cunningham was ready to jump off the bench right then and there. Sophie was ready to jump off the bench right then and there. Look at this. Boom, Marina Mabrey gets hit. And then what do you see right here? You see the picture. You see the picture on the left-hand side over there. Yeah, Austin Kelly holding Sophie Cunningham back. Hey, Sophie, we're I know you want to get after it. I know you're about that action, but you got to stay right here on the sideline. Seriously, no one can say Caitlin Clark isn't targeted. Girl just got poked to the eye, thrown to the ground, and was still given a technical foul. Marina Mabrey was not ejected. These officials are absolute Cleat.
But this is where things really heat up. Several eyewitnesses, including fans in the arena, say Sophie Cunningham wasn't just upset, she was livid. On the sidelines, she could be seen struggling against the coaches holding her back, her anger boiling over, and the cameras, they caught her mouthing words that needed no expert to decode. "That's my teammate. That's enough." The Fever's coaching staff knew exactly what they were dealing with, the storm ready to break. And in the final minute of the game, Cunningham got her shot at justice, and she didn't waste it.
Yo, Sophia, my apologies. You should have had the second jersey WNBA I bought. I did not know that you were so proficient in holding the back of a girl's head while talking shit to her. She defended Caitlin Clark from that flagrant foul, which they didn't call flagrant for some reason last night. And she had her titled up. And then the rest of the Don Imus crew came up and tried to, separate it and whatever. But let me just tell y'all this. Sophie Cunningham, thank you for defending Caitlin Clark. Somebody in the WNBA has to protect the brand, and it's not going to be the EBT members. So thank you for protecting the greatest female basketball player of all time.
If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because what's happening right now in the WNBA deserves your attention. The timing of this incident isn't just dramatic, it's telling. And the league, it's facing well-earned backlash. Let's talk facts, because numbers don't lie. Unlike some of the officiating we've seen, Sophie Cunningham's jersey has completely sold out on the WNBA's official site, and that's no fluke. It's a clear message from Indiana fans. They see who's really stepping up. While the league hesitates to protect its biggest star, Cunningham is doing it herself. And the fans are responding by backing the one player bold enough to say publicly and physically enough is enough.
In case you guys don't know yet, Sophie Cunningham's jersey, oh yeah, Fever fans spend that bread, folks. Sophie Cunningham's jersey, out of stock. Look at that, no size in stock. A small, a medium, a large, an extra large, a double XL. You're gonna have to get one custom made. Sophie Cunningham stands up for Caitlin Clark, and overnight, her jerseys are selling like hot.
Stephen A. Smith and Monica McNutt took to the airwaves Wednesday morning and delivered what might be the most tone-deaf take in recent sports media memory. Rather than addressing the clear pattern of physical targeting aimed at Caitlin Clark, they pivoted to blame the victim, implying she somehow deserved the treatment because she talks trash. Smith even went so far as to compare Clark to Larry Bird, saying, "She's also somebody like Larry Bird was shooting the lights out and talking smack." In other words, she's asking for it. Let's be honest, this wasn't analysis. It was a masterclass in victim blaming, dressed up as commentary. And the worst part, it completely ignores the actual issue, a league failing to protect its most valuable player while media figures twist the narrative to excuse the violence.
And you see her, you see a little shove here and there, you see her throwing a little elbow here and there, you see her talking smack. Caitlin Clark does this. So, on top of the fact that she can play, because the girl's a shooter, and she's an assist maven as well, leading the league in assists and stuff like that. She's special, 4th in league MVP honors last year, rookie of the year. But she's also somebody, Doggy, you will appreciate this, kind of like Larry Bird was. When Larry Bird shooting the lights out and stuff like that. But Larry Bird...
But let's not miss the bigger issue here. The real crime isn't just the aggression, it's the officiating and the league's failure to respond. Connecticut Sun head coach Stephanie White didn't mince words. She told reporters, "I started talking to officials in the first quarter. We knew this was going to happen. They've got to get control of it. They've got to be better." Her message: this wasn't a one-time thing. The physical targeting, especially against Caitlin Clark, has been happening all season, and officials have repeatedly turned a blind eye. By the fourth quarter, it was clear if the refs weren't going to protect Clark, her teammates would have to do it themselves, and Sophie Cunningham took that job personally. With under a minute left in the Fever up by 17, JC Sheldon, yes, the same player who poked Clark in the eye, charged down the court on a fast break. But before she could score, Cunningham stepped in with a move that won't soon be forgotten, a flash. She locked Sheldon in a textbook tie clinch and brought her straight to the floor. It wasn't reckless, it was controlled. precise, and deeply personal. And here's the kicker: Cunningham has been trained for this moment since childhood. At just 6 years old, she became the youngest Taekwondo black belt in Missouri. She didn't just protect her teammate, she sent a message the whole league could hear.
Definitely the W, especially if Sophie Cunningham is going to continue to fight people for messing with Caitlin Clark, because it feels like Caitlin Clark is going to get treated in a certain way in this league for a long time. She's not a rookie anymore. Okay? She's already proved herself. She's won. And then there were some, ladies last night that were trying to go a little physical. And in last year, I think something we noticed, and I think a lot of people noticed, is when Caitlin would get bullied, nobody would do nothing.
That's right.
Nobody would do nothing. It was like, hey, they didn't know, like, whoa, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe people are doing this to Caitlin Clark. Teammates weren't jumping in there. They bring in Sophie Cunningham. I had no idea. Sophie Cunningham was a black belt at the age of 6.
Yeah. Yep.
Boom!
Wow.
JC Sheldon, that's cute. You want to poke her in the eye, then push her into a boom Mabry thing? Go ahead. I'll take a take foul, and you'll eat the deck a little bit here.
The aftermath played out exactly as expected. Sophie Cunningham was hit with a flagrant 2, ejected from the game, and escorted off the court alongside JC Sheldon and Lindsay Allen. But by then, the message had already been delivered loud and clear: if you come for Caitlin Clark, you answer to Sophie Cunningham. And the fans, they knew what they had just witnessed. As Cunningham walked off the floor at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the crowd rose in a standing ovation, saluting not just a player, but the rise of a protector, an enforcer, a teammate willing to put her body on the line for the future of the franchise. But what happened next is what really set people off. On Wednesday, the WNBA handed down its decision. Cunningham would be fined for her actions. But incredibly, so would Marina Mabrey, the same player who shoved Clark to the floor from behind in the third quarter. That's right. A calculated, unprovoked hit on the league's top rookie earned the same punishment as Cunningham's direct response in defense of a teammate. The league called it even. The fans call it a joke, because this wasn't just a double standard, it was a spotlight on everything that's broken in how the WNBA protects, or fails to protect, its biggest stars.
This Sophie Cunningham X account, and just like I stated, guys, she's been pretty vocal all day, sending little subliminals on social media. Well, she made it her business to retweet some of this drama that has been displayed online. Now, if you guys haven't heard, the Marina Marbury situation has been upgraded to a flagrant 2 foul, man, and she should have got suspended. Marina Marbury should have been suspended in some shape.
But here's what the WNBA doesn't seem to realize: they've unintentionally created a hero. Sophie Cunningham isn't just another player on the roster anymore. She's become a symbol of everything Indiana Fever fans have been waiting for: grit, loyalty, and fearless protection. Indiana has never had a player quite like her, someone who pairs talent with the absolute refusal to let anyone bully her teammates, especially Caitlin Clark, the face of the franchise. One fan summed it up perfectly: Sophie Cunningham is exactly what Caitlin Clark and the Fever needed. She brings fearless energy. While Marina hits and retreats, Sophie confronts, and the proof, it's in the jersey sales. Within hours of Tuesday night's game, Cunningham's jersey had completely sold out on the WNBA's official website. Fever fans aren't just cheering, they're voting with their wallets. They're backing a player who isn't afraid to stand up, push back, and defend what matters, because at this point, it's no longer just about basketball. It's about loyalty, it's about protection, and it's a message to the entire league. The days of using Caitlin Clark as a punching bag, they're officially over.